jabronis, listen up. We got a special once in a lifetime, well, maybe like once every holiday kind of surprise here.
Once a year.
Special bonus feature episode for Thanksgiving. We got my man Creature here, Steve Ortman. Steve, thanks again for being back
Thanks for having me back, man. I didn't think this was gonna be this quick of a turnaround to have me back already.
No way. The people wanted more Creature, so we got to give the people what they want.
Yeah.
So for everybody's like heads up, a quick caveat: there is a full episode coming out on Sunday, midnight Sunday. So refresh your shit for that. But this is just a special impromptu Thanksgiving episode that we decided to do in the last minute because both of us are physically alone for Thanksgiving, but we're not emotionally and mentally alone. So, Creature, again, thanks for being here.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me. We were just talking about this last night, and it was like we were talking about what we're going to be eating, and one thing led to another, and here we are.
Well, yeah, and so that was it. Was that you were describing to me your meal, and I immediately was like, I got to do the same thing. Yep. I got to have the same meal, and then we can kind of compare. So for all the jabronis out there listening, we were talking last night. We went when Creature was in town. We went out to that bar and grill kind of place.
Yeah, I forget what it was called.
Burgers.
Right.
And this burger, it's very kind of unconventional out of the box. It was a peanut butter and jelly burger with some bacon on it. And what it was just that. It was like pepper jelly, a burger, some nice like crisp bacon, and then some peanut butter on top. And it sounds terrible, but delicious. I mean, I don't know how you felt about it. I go back every Saturday now.
Amazing. I've been making them ever since. I can't go back to using catsup and mayonnaise and none of that stuff.
No more catsup.
It's changed the way I eat burgers forever.
There you go. So now you kind of like you're stuck in this game.
That's it. I've eaten it 5 times this week.
That's awesome. That sounds exactly like something I would do, since I pretty much eat like bacon and eggs for every meal too. So what we decided to do was we made our own little versions of that. Now, I don't know exactly what you did. We'll show your meal in a second, but for everyone looking at the video here of mine, I did a little bit of a modification to test this out because I've had this once in the past. It's jelly with bacon and a Berg Daddy, and then I put the Reese's peanut butter cup on top of the Berg Daddy to let it melt on top.
Oh my God.
Now I had this the first time ever, and the only time really was after I ran a marathon with Matt Steele, the Weasel. We went to this place and they had it there for like the Halloween time frame. And I was like, I'm so hungry and delirious, I'm gonna try it. And at the time it was delicious.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe I'm just like losing my mind. I just ran, 26.2 miles like an asshole. So maybe that was the reason. But after having that PB&J burger at the bar and grill over there, I decided it's got to be good. So we're gonna dig into this bad boy.
So you actually haven't tried it since that last time you had it. You have no idea how this is gonna be.
Not with the Reese's, no.
Oh wow.
So this is gonna be like first live or recorded look at my reaction to it. I mean, I can tell you right now, I'm gonna fucking love it. Sorry, parents, family show.
Yeah, I guarantee you're gonna love it. I've never heard anybody say, "Whoops, I accidentally put a Reese's peanut butter cup on this." No, it's a happy accident. It's great.
Right. Yeah. There's never a disappointment after you bite into anything with a Reese's. No one ever says not for me. And if you do, unfollow this. Don't listen. Get the hell out of this program. All right. So let's see what you got. You got a whole spread that you did a lot of homemade shit.
Yeah. We didn't really talk about this in rehearsal how we're gonna do this, but let's see if I can get you guys to see what I got going on here. So I got 2 Berg Daddies here.
There you go.
Now this one right here is PB&J. No bacon though. I forgot about the bacon. I didn't even consider putting bacon on the
fog of war. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is going to taste just fine. The ones I've been making all week didn't have bacon on it. I think this will be fine, but yeah, bacon definitely would have been a game changer. This one, just standard pickled onions. I made those myself. And that's pretty much it. Just a standard burger. I got
that
here.
one real quick. The one on the left of the screen here. That's probably more of a standard Ortman burger because it's loaded with onions.
Oh yeah, this is pickled onions. I got pickles. I got Chipotle mayo on here. This is pretty much standard burger, standard creature burger. It's got loaded onions on here.
There it is, the creature special.
All
right, what else you got?
Pre-bar place kind of
there
burger.
You go.
This is a salad, but this is just for show. I mean, who are we kidding here? I'm not going to eat that.
It's garbage. It's going right in the can.
No, I don't need that. I got some sweet potato French fries right here. I've got some fancy sauce to go with it. That's just ketchup and mayo right there.
There you go.
I've got this is a recipe that's been passed down from generation to generation. It's been in my family a long time. It's graham crackers with Nutella spread on them.
Whoa.
Yeah, pretty legit right there.
Another Ortman special.
This is a what we were talking about last night. These are chocolate chip cookies with Nutella stuffed inside. They didn't come out great, but I have a feeling they're going to taste just fine.
I mean, they look great.
They are okay. It was a mess making them. I mean, there's a bomb in my kitchen right now. It's
really
nasty in there. But
what did you have to do to kind of get that going? What was the process behind that?
For the cookies?
Yeah.
Well, this was you telling me I gotta adjust this, so I'm not talking to the keyboard here.
Sure.
You were telling me about a recipe that you heard from work that you refrigerate some Nutella so that it's easier to like mold. You fold in a little bit of a ball, and then you get a cookie dough, fold that into a ball, flatten it out, and then you put the Nutella inside that cookie dough, and then you kind of make it like I made it like a cookie ravioli, if you will.
Oh, okay. And what did it just get messy and shit?
Yeah, it just got freaking everywhere, man. And I couldn't help myself from eating it while I was making it. It was just a mess.
You got to test the goods.
Oh, you got to.
I mean, it's got to be phenomenal.
The last piece I have for the meal is just some standard pumpkin pie with some whipped cream on there.
Wow,
you're here just in case I need, for the salad or something. You never know.
Yeah, in case you need. You got to make the salad edible.
That's right. You will definitely notice about my spread that the number of desserts far outweigh like the actual substance of this meal.
Well, the substance is, for me anyway, too, the substance is the dessert.
Oh, 100%.
So,
100%.
Speaking of which, I don't have an oven in this hellhole of a beachfront hotel I'm standing in. So I had to just purchase desserts. And of course, I went to Wegmans, Weg Daddy's.
Wegmans is the best.
It's really not bad, especially when you're outside of New York, New Jersey, where you're going to get authentic, Italian type of desserts. I got these cannolis. I got the chocolate kind, so I don't know if you could see this on the camera, but these are like the mini chocolate cannolis. Mm-hmm. I went with that. I've got the regular too, but I housed them last night. They're gone.
Oh, yeah.
So I got the chocolate ones. And then I have a package of chocolate chip cookies here, and half of them are chocolate dipped chocolate chip cookies, and the other half are regular chocolate chip daddies. So
nice.
We got that to look forward to later on. I'm probably not going to eat that while we're recording, like in this episode, because it's going to take me forever to eat anyway. But let's dig in. Let's just try it out and see what's going on. So
see how it's going.
I'll keep flapping my gills while you're trying out your meal.
So anybody who's ever eaten with me knows that I generally we go to a restaurant, we'll discuss things, whatever topic is on your mind, we'll have a conversation. But once the food comes out, that's it. I'll talk to you as soon as I'm done. Just give me a couple minutes. It's not going to be long, and then I'll get back to you as soon as I'm done. But I'm going to make an exception for LPDS, and I'm going to try not to stuff my face too bad so that we can still discuss whatever important topics we have to discuss.
Look, I appreciate that, but the people love the creature, so go full creature if you want. No holds barred. Real quick, though, I just took a bite out of this fucking thing. Jesus Christ. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, mine came out great, too. I can't imagine what it would be like with the bacon, but as is, it's still pretty darn good.
Yeah, and I want to really make it on a grill one day, real burgers on a grill, everything good to go, not some hotel stovetop, but holy shit, is this good.
Yeah.
Which one did you bite into first?
This was the PB&J that I dove into. I'm going to take a bite of everything. I'm even going to have, some dessert as I eat this because Nobody tells me what the fuck to do.
Exactly. I like that. So I do want to get into a quick story about eating and talking while you're eating.
Mm-hmm.
So this goes back to our college days. For all the jabronis that don't know us back in college, I think we were at the Wing House.
That's where it was,
time,
the
right?
fine establishment of Wing House. That's where it was.
Right. So for you heathens who don't know what the Wing House is, it's like a Hooters, but the food is down there in Daytona. The food was better employee staff. How you doing? Just a better environment. So that's where we went. We were. It was a couple of us, I think. I don't remember exactly who. I know Bonji was there.
Bonji was there. I believe Philip was there.
Probably all the cast of characters that you all know and love already. And then, of course, everyone's favorite evildoer, David's. So we're there eating. And standard libretti like fashion is I'm running my dick sucker while everyone's actually eating. I'll take forever. And we're talking about, we got on the conversation of dogs and having pets.
Right.
And we're talking about who had a dog when and what kind of dog it was and blah, 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 all this other stuff. And the conversation went on for a couple minutes. I think one of them, maybe Bonji said he had a chow initially.
Right.
And then we moved on.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking 2 or 3 conversation topics later, after the dog conversation is well past and out of our brains, you get done housing your meal for 12 at the time. And out of nowhere, again, we're talking about probably girls or something. And all of a sudden we just hear out of left field, like right here into the corner, you just hear, I had a chow as well, fellas. And we all just stopped. It was like the music just cut. We all looked at you like, what the hell are you talking about, dude? And you're like,
You're talking about that thing.
That's it. We were talking about dogs, and I think you said, like, I was busy eating, and you looked directly at me, and you're like, I do not talk and eat.
That's right, man. It's business time. You got to get down to, this is what I came here for. I came here for the food. And when we can talk about anything you want before the food arrives, but once that food gets sit in front of me, that's it, man. I got nothing to say to you.
Yeah, and that's what it was. It was almost like you like blacked out. You went dark.
That's it, man. I actually have a pretty funny story about that. There was one time I was in Oklahoma. I was training for the job that I have now. It's a 3-month. We talked a little bit about this the last episode that I was on, LPDS. So the training out there is 3 months long. So you get to know the people that are in your class quite a bit. So we hang out, when we're not in class, we go out to dinners a lot. One time we went to this restaurant. It was a hibachi restaurant, which is like, I don't know. Everyone talks about how when you go to a hibachi restaurant, they always give you more food than you can handle. But I beg to differ.
I've been there several times. You can handle it. No question.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that's definitely not a problem.
Right.
So anyways, we're at this hibachi restaurant, and I'm sitting next to one of my classmates who just so happens to be like this beautiful, really cool, really awesome, great personality, young female. She's my classmate, and we actually lived in the same building, so we got, we hung out a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to her.
Total package potential.
Oh, she was great. She was a great girl, very, very attractive.
Student person player.
What's that?
Student person player.
That's right, man. She did it all. So we're talking, and just like at the Wing House, as soon as the meal comes out, that's it. I'm done. Whatever it was that you're saying, I'm getting down. And I realize what you're gonna say is like, come on, man. Why couldn't you make the exception this one time and not be like that? Well, I was hungry and I wanted to eat. And this was in my way fatter days too. So this is when I'm just housing everything in sight. So anyways, I get to, I don't even think I used utensils, certainly not chopsticks, because nobody's got time for that. I just do like the arm shuffle, down the hatch.
Yeah.
And people are still taking their first couple of bites. I'm sitting here laid back in my chair.
Done.
Stomach's hanging out over my belt, and I kind of look at her and go, oh, what was that thing you were talking about earlier? And she looks at me, and then she looks at my stomach. She does this a couple times. She gives me, you know, a couple of these.
A quick, how you doing? Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, I try to like ease the tension a little bit. So I say like, yeah, it kind of looks like I'm 2 months pregnant right now. And she goes, yeah, more like 8.
Oh my God.
That was, you know, they say fat shaming doesn't work, but, you know, I think after that, I kind of turned the page.
No, it 100% works.
It definitely works.
I wish I was there.
You know, Dangerous Davids, you know, he was on the show a few weeks ago, and he looks phenomenal. You know, I lost a lot of weight. Fat shaming, it does work.
Yeah, and you do look phenomenal compared to
thanks, man.
Back in the day when we didn't care about what we ate or drank back then. Oh my
God. You know, I for the longest time, I was still on the, you know, 21-year-old kid, college athlete, can eat whatever I want. It doesn't really matter, except I was 25 at the time, and I'm not doing anything but hitting the sticks all day and cheesing my jaw off. So it didn't really work out. It kind of got away from me there for a while.
Yeah, it got a little crazy. I mean, it was pretty much anything that your meal card would pay for, and then anything my leftover student loans would be able to cover was going into my belly, so to speak.
Oh my God, yeah.
And yeah, it wasn't a good look, because as soon as I commissioned, like graduated and started my, you know, Air Force crap, we weren't working out nearly as much.
All right, yeah.
And I had to immediately cut like 90% of my diet out and kind of figure it out, because I was gaining weight like faster than I can actually walk.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, we didn't really talk about it the last time I was on, but you did talk about it with Wet Cat and David's, you know, all the crap that we had to go through, the ridiculous conditioning that we did. You know, it kind of balanced out, you know, Krispy Kreme donuts and Dunkaroos and all that.
Oh,
not that we
God.
Anyways, but, you know.
Yeah. Well, it made what we – go ahead.
I was just saying, you know, when we go from what we were doing on a daily basis to sitting around doing nothing, you're definitely going to pay for it.
Yeah, our working out program made it completely unimportant what food we ate. It didn't matter what it was or how much it was. It didn't matter, because we were going to go throw it up or burn it off working out anyway. So
right, yeah. I mean, and I can't feel too bad about my diet. I mean, when we talk about the food that was provided on road trips, we never really discussed that. You know, having to split a Domino's pizza with a teammate, and, you know, getting garbage snacks in between double headers and stuff like that. Thanks a lot, Embry Riddle. The Steagles can only do what they can do. Thanks a lot, Embry Riddle.
It was Embry Riddle, yeah. I mean, Domino's was kind of like a gift. Usually we would get Papa John's because it was cheaper, and they were the only ones willing to deliver 45 pies at 11:30 at night to the fucking Red Roof Inn in Dick-Bagville, North Carolina, whatever the hell we were.
Yep.
So we were stuck with that. And let me
tell
you
something. Golden Corrals, a lot of seafood pizza, just a lot of trash.
Do you remember, you were on the team already, we went up to USCB, University of South Carolina, Beaufort, or whatever, something like that, right?
Yeah, that's it.
And that's kind of like, what was that? Kind of middle of nowhere, sort of like on the South Carolina-Georgia border or whatever. And Skip, our head coach, said, hey, if we sweep these guys, we're going to Chipotle. Now, thinking back now, like if they said like Chipotle, I'm just like, whatever. Like, all right, thanks, I guess.
Yeah.
But back then,
oh man,
when
that's all the motivation we needed.
When our blood was pretty much the Papa John's garlic sauce only, like Chipotle was the fucking way to go. Like when he said that, we went, we had raging bone daddies immediately. Like, bam.
That's right. I had to tuck it into my waistband.
Yeah, you do the waistband tuck. We go on to mop the floor with these guys. It was not even close. Like the score might have been closer, but they were mentally and emotionally just beaten up by us. We crushed them because all we had in our mind was Chipotle.
Chipotle burritos.
So then Skip goes, all right, we did it. We're going to Chipotle. And we're on the bus now because it was a longer trip, so they gave us a bus instead of the vans.
Right.
So we're all happy. We're driving the bus back, and all of a sudden, we see the sign on the road for Chipotle. We kind of just drive by it. We're like, maybe we're going to the closer Chipotle. Then we get off on this exit with no signs of any life whatsoever. We're like, oh, maybe the guy's got to get gas, the driver's going to take a shit, something like that. I don't know. We pull into this place called Western Sizzlin', American Buffet. And the bus is still running. So we're thinking, yeah, this guy has to go take a shit. So let him do his business and we'll get right back on the road to the main goal was Chipotle. Not winning the games, the goal was Chipotle.
Right.
All of a sudden, the bus turns off and Skip goes, all right, everybody out. We're getting food time. And we look at him like, you son of a bitch.
Motherfucker.
You unbelievable, no good son of a bitch. We're going to, not even a Golden Corral. It's an off-brand Golden Corral.
It is. It is a generic, it's like a Walmart version of Golden Corral.
There's only like 2 in the entire country. And we fucking went there.
Yeah.
And I remember they had steaks.
Yeah, put that in air quotes.
And you try to cut the steak with a butter knife, a metal butter knife, and it broke the knife. It was such trash.
Yep.
And it was one of those memories that is unforgettable in the worst way possible. Like the emotional devastation that rained down on us after walking into this place and knowing this is not a joke. The joke was on us.
Oh, we got played. We definitely got played.
We just fucking ran these dudes into the ground for nothing. Absolutely no reason at all. We didn't care about
3 wins. Nobody gives a shit about that.
Nothing.
I wanted queso on my burrito.
It was unbelievable. And I remember too, years later, I actually took a vacation a couple years ago to Hilton Head area. Near Georgia, it was Hilton Head, by Savannah and all those areas or whatever. And the way we took the trip was through South Carolina, and I see the sign for Western Sizzlin', and immediately I'm driving. Immediately, I get Vietnam flashbacks, just popping up of that bastard Skip.
You fucking played us.
Hey, we're going to Chipotle, guys. Get ready. All right, sorry, folks. We had a quick technical difficulty there. But anyway, I had these memories rushing back, and I remember being so pissed off at that bastard Skip for trick fucking us into going to the worst place we've ever gone to. And I remember my girlfriend was sitting next to me, and she's like, I was motherfucking under my breath while we were driving. And she's like, what the hell are you doing? What are you bitching about now? And I was like, you wouldn't understand. She was like, tell me. And I tell her the story, and she's like, you're right. I don't understand. You're a baby. And then we broke up.
That's it. Get the hell out of my car. She walked home.
Yeah, well, she was probably happy to dump me. No, she's still around. Unfortunate for her, but good for me anyway.
Yeah. The funny thing is you look back at our years at Embry-Riddle, and all the times where we would lose, whether it would be close, and we didn't lose a lot. I mean, we obviously had good teams year in and year out, but we did lose games, whether it would be close or blowouts. We just get totally get our asses handed to us. Skip would just tear our freaking skin off, berating us and just calling us nutless fucks and every other insult in the book. When all he really had to do to motivate us was just promise us Chipotle, you didn't even have to go through the charade. Yeah, he finally figured out the weakness to exploit. That's it. He put years of effort into trying to motivate and get us get our muscle memory through practice good enough so that we're a well-oiled machine. He finally found it, and he picked it intelligently because we needed that win. We needed those 3 wins for the conference standings. And he knew I'm gonna once I reveal this tactic,
it's burned for good.
Yeah.
They're never going to believe me again.
That's true. Yeah. You
So
can't really use that more than once.
Right. You can't do it more than once. So he picked it knowing this is the only shot. We really need these wins. Yeah. It's go time. He probably had like a little conference with his brother Cheesesteak and Coach T, and we're like, he goes, "This is the play. We're doing it. We need these W's."
Right.
And the son of a bitch did it.
The thing that I'm curious is, it's Chipotle. It's been a while since I've been, but what is it like? I don't know, $8 or $9 for a burrito, assuming you don't get the guac or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
easily.
What was the price per person ratio? Reference the Western Sizzler that we couldn't get Chipotle.
I mean, price-wise, it was probably like, I don't know, maybe like $3 or $4 difference a person.
Yeah, you're gonna steak dinner for $3 per person.
Don't call it steak. It was not. It was the worst meal that an establishment put out. The only thing that made it okay, like halfway okay, was that they were not pretending to be something better than they were.
Right. Yeah. We suck. We know it. Like, you can either come in or not.
Yeah. They were like, look, there's only 2 of these joints for a reason.
Right.
There's a reason the parking lot's empty. Do you want this slop for $4 a person or not?
Right.
And Skip was like, we want.
Yes.
100%. Yeah. I can't wait to see these guys' faces when they see this shit. He starts doling out the cash.
That's right. I feel like now I may be getting this mixed up with a Golden Corral incident, but I remember specifically we walked into one of these places, and I mean, I was never really fond of like the buffet, garbage slop they put in front of us. But there was one time we walked into one of those joints, and they had like a chocolate fondue fountain thing going on where you could stick, whatever, like fruit and whatever you wanted to put in there. But there was like a bunch of kids and a bunch of old ladies that were like putting their hands in there and like licking their fingers. The kind of, I don't want to stereotype anything, but there's a certain type of person that pays $3 for a steak dinner. Yeah. And they were kind of taking advantage of a chocolate fondue fountain.
Yeah, they're called fat shits. That's a demographic that goes. Yeah. That was a Golden Corral.
Yeah, it was a Golden Corral.
I remember that distinctly too, because I believe Spencer Seaborn, another player, was there at the time, and he was saying something how like someone was sticking their steak in the chocolate fondue fountain, and that's when he was just like, "I'm done eating for the day."
Right. Yep. I'll wait till we get home.
Yeah. So another great memory, a terribly great memory, I guess you should say.
Yeah.
But I do want to save the rest of our stories. We missed a lot of stories the last time we talked. I'm thinking about 4 or 5 right off the top of my head now.
Oh, I got a couple right now. Yeah.
We have to talk about eventually. We'll bring you back on, but I don't want to keep you too much longer from your delicious feast of desserts. But I do want to find out. What's that?
I only have so much self-control here. I'm trying not to.
I know you're doing great. You're doing great. But real quick, what was the reason? How come you're home today and not up with family or doing anything like that today? Because it is Thanksgiving. For those absolute morons who are watching this on Thanksgiving night or even after and are like, "Gee, why are they doing this?" It's Thanksgiving, you idiots. But go ahead.
I mean, aside from the fact that I'm a cheese dick, I guess that excuse doesn't do it for you.
I wanted to hear from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm working this week. I'm a controller, so we unfortunately some of our schedules, they're not always 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. So I'm working this week. I'm working. I worked today. I worked yesterday. I worked tomorrow. My family's, they're not far away. I'm in Fort Myers. They're in Orlando, so it's about a 3-hour drive. So it's really not bad, but just. Yeah. With that schedule, I figured, maybe on one of my off days, we'll have like an off day Thanksgiving or something like that. I'll catch up with them, but I'm here by myself physically, but I'm with my brother right now. So it's all good.
Hell yeah. Yeah. So I figured it was a work thing because you do live close enough that you can probably justify the drive otherwise, but it makes sense. And that's kind of why that was another reason why I was like, why don't we just do this fucking Zoom call and bullshit for a few minutes and actually enjoy ourselves.
Right.
I was talking to my mother earlier today. I had to call Crazy Carol, on Thanksgiving.
Sure. Absolutely.
This is not the first time I've missed Thanksgiving. It's like this and Easter, like the holidays I miss every year almost. Sure. Because of some work-related shit. So my family's been real good about that. My mom still gets, sad or whatever, but she understands, and it's kind of is what it is. So I was calling her, and she's like, "Oh, do you have any friends that you can go over, and spend the holiday with?" And I was telling her, like, "Look, there's people I work with that I like, but I'm not going to somebody's house to only know one person that has to fake nice to the entire rest of their family."
Sure.
This is regardless of what they feel about COVID, the China virus. Like, besides that, just going over to some stranger's house on a holiday, and it's like, thank you. It's great to be here. I'm happy, but I can't bullshit with my brothers or my family like I can't, like I can here. So I was like, I'd much rather do this. And of course, Crazy Carol gave me shit like, why don't you go make more friends and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, look, I have the best friends that you can fucking ask for.
Right.
So I would much rather sit here like an absolute creature's cheese dick and talk to you via Zoom and enjoy myself than sit with a couple of probably nice strangers.
Sure.
Eat that garbage stuffing, which, by the way, I don't know how you feel about stuffing. I think it's overrated.
Not a fan. No.
It's hot, wet bread.
Right. Yeah. Not
in
a fan.
Fucking pan.
Mm-hmm.
Get over it, guys. It's bread. You're eating bread. If you think that's the best part of your Thanksgiving meal, your meal sucks. I don't want to go there anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's not? What doesn't suck? Reese's peanut butter burgers. That's right.
Yeah. No, I mean, I couldn't agree more. I actually, I did get invited by a coworker. He's like, "Man, what are you doing after work?" I'm going to cook some food and basically just kind of hang out. And he's like, "Oh, why don't you come on over?" But, and I told him, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. That means a lot that you'd invite me into your home with your family on a holiday like this. But basically, to your point, my people skills are pretty minimal at best. So, and then, like you said, I'd rather sit here and talk to you and bullshit and compare the food that we put together. I appreciate the gesture, but I'm all right. It's all good.
Yeah. And like I said, like, I'll go on years from now and talk about, hey, tell me about your favorite holiday, your best holiday, whatever. Like, this is easily going to be one of them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was by myself most of the day, but just knowing, like, hey, we're going to cook this fucking food and prepare this and just be able to shoot this shit and have some fun with it, you can't beat it with a stick. You can't.
Not at all. No, not at all. I think it's great.
Yeah. So I'm going to let you go, though, because you got a whole bunch of good food that you have to enjoy your way. And I can't can't keep you from that any longer. Mm-hmm. So thank you again for being on here. This was an unbelievable holiday.
Yeah.
For everybody else listening, don't forget, this is a special feature episode. You're not going to get too many like this, especially with VIP guests like the creature out here. So keep that in mind. There is going to be a full episode coming up on Sunday. So keep a lookout for that. That's where we kind of talk about Thanksgiving, thankfulness, gratitude. I call a bunch of you selfish bastards out because I know tonight or into the wee hours of the morning, you sons of bitches are going to be online, fighting the other piles of assholes on Black Friday to try to get your deals on a TV or a PlayStation or how you doing. So go listen to the episode coming up on Sunday so you can remember what it means to be thankful and grateful for the good things in your life. But I thank you, creature. I'm thankful for you as a brother and as a family member and for doing this tonight. So thank you again. Thank you guys, all of you. I hope you had like a good Thanksgiving and all that crap, and stay strong.